Welcome NFL fans, I'm Lawrence Owen with another update, and I'm going to go over a little bit of film room as well, because simple fact, as many of you know, George Kittle just signed a record-setting contract deal. 5 years, $75 million. That's $15 million a year. That's 50% larger than any other contract for a tight end. 50% larger. Talk about resetting the bar, right? Now, I'm going to go over a few clips because the simple fact that you just seen, also, Kansas City's talking about re-signing Travis Kelce. And people are like, well, he's going to get $75 million and one. But my question is, who actually deserves more money? George Kittle or Travis Kelce? Many already know that Travis Kelce is an outstanding receiving tight end in the NFL. And George Kittle is also a very good receiving tight end in the NFL. But George Kittle is getting paid for two positions basically, right? George Kittle is getting paid because he catches the football very well. And he also blocks like a traditional tight end. Does Travis Kelce block? And is he that much better at receiving that if he doesn't block very well, that he still deserves that kind of money? Well, let's get into it and find out, shall we? So, when it comes to blocking, there's two different types of mindsets. One, there's pass blocking mindsets, and then there's run blocking mindsets. When you're on a run blocking mindset, no matter if the play is going in your direction or not, you should be the aggressor. You should be the one initiating the block, attacking, and making sure that whoever it is that you decide to put your hands on does not get a forward momentum, okay? Now, on this play, as you see right here, Travis Kelce is up here. The ball's going to be given to Williams, and he's going to go out here, which means the ball's not going anywhere near him. Yet, he attacks this as though he's pass blocking. Let's watch. Here's the ball. It's getting snapped. He's going to move over here, but he's going to go back. Simple and easy. Here we go. We'll move this. There we go. Bam. He gets knocked back. He is not attacking the block. Not in the least little bit. He waits for him to come to him, and the end pushes him back. And this is Bosa, by the way. Pushes him back far enough to where he can run along the edge. Now, as a tight end, you got to understand Bosa is a very fast player. You have to, even if the ball is away from you, he is quick enough to run along the backside of that offensive line and possibly get a tackle from behind. Even if it is a long play. This is a situation where Kelce was very nonchalant about the block. Now, that happens. Let's look at what happens when Kittle is put in a very similar situation. Now, as you know, or you can tell, this was the Super Bowl. And it took me a lot to find any kind of play where they ran the ball away from Kittle and he blocked anyone near him. Usually he's going out for a pass or something. Generally, when he's out blocking, they're running behind him for good reason. On this play, they do run away from him, and he does not block this defensive end out right here. No. They don't block him because he knows he's got the fullback coming up, and he's going to, attack him like he's supposed to. So he's going to go off on the other side, closer to where the running back's going to go, and try to make a block there. And he does so in an attacking way. Watch, there he goes. He takes off. He hits that linebacker. He's trying to knock him down. He's just hitting him, pushing him, whatever he can do. I mean, my goodness. This is a full-fledged attack by Kittle. He knows this guy's going to be blocked on the backside by the fullback, and he just takes off running full speed not caring a world here, hits that linebacker. He's hoping that between him and the tackle, he can knock that that linebacker down. Granted, it doesn't do it, but he hits him so hard, he spins the linebacker around so that he could stay on his feet. But by then, the linebacker had no chance. And there goes Samuel down the sidelines. This was a really good way of showing that even when the running play is going away from him, he is still an attacking blocker. He is still, he doesn't wait for anyone to come to him. He blocks, he comes out, and he attacks that block, no matter what. Let's see if there's anything else that says something. All right, so here's a play where Travis Kelce is going to get a full head of steam to block, you guessed it, Bosa again. The run's going to go right up the middle. He's supposed to hit that other side. Full head of steam. Kelce's not a small guy. He's a big dude. He could put a little bit of a block on somebody if he wanted to. Right here's Kelce. He's going to come up. He's going to get Bosa on the end while the running back runs right up the gut right behind him. Let's see how this ends up turning out. What the heck was that? My guy, Kelce, what was that? All right, Kelce's going to come over. Here's Bosa. Let's watch what happens. What the heck? What the heck was that? Did he just push him into the play? I think he was so scared of contact, he barely made a glancing blow. Watch. Barely makes this glancing blow and actually pushes him back into the direction of the run. He helped Bosa change directions by doing just a barely glancing blow to help Bosa dive at the feet of the running back as he was running by him. This is embarrassing for any tight end. Not only did he not fully block him, he's obviously showing he's scared of making contact with anybody. He's just as big as Bosa is. And instead of hindering the guy he's supposed to be blocking, he actually pushes him into the direction that the running back is heading. My guy, I am fairly certain that your running backs would dramatically appreciate it if you would just plant your feet instead of just trying to run by somebody. That's just an embarrassment for the tight end position. Now on this play, as you see, we got Kittle here. He's going to block out number 55, the linebacker. And this is no glancing blow. This is Kittle just manhandling him and pushing him out of the play completely, making sure he cannot get into the play at all, to the point where it just absolutely frustrates the linebacker so much that he grabs him and throws him to the ground. Watch the play right here. Watch this little contract right here. And then he just, wow. Kittle is not afraid to get dirty on this at all. Here he comes across. Just watch closely. Watch. He keeps pushing him further, and then finally, you see the jerk? He grabbed his shirt and yanked him all the way down to the ground because he was so mad that he was just being pushed completely out of this play. Completely out. And then right here, see, yank. George Kittle is not afraid to get his jersey dirty. He's not afraid to mix it up with the linebackers. He gets out there and he just pushes and pushes and pushes and makes sure that guys are not in the play. And then, that's just what happens. I'm surprised there wasn't a holding call defensively on this play right here. Granted, it was a decent run right up the gut, but it would have been a free first down. George Kittle shows he's not afraid to mix it up out there, running the football, getting in on linebackers, putting his body at risk. Something Kelce has an issue with. You're still here? Awesome! Thanks for watching this stream. Please, if you have a moment of your time, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you're notified next time I go live. And if you got a few extra seconds, hit that description down there below the video and check out all the places that you can follow me, whether it be Sportscaster here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and there's a couple places where you can help donate to my channel. That way I can continue to bring all this content to you. Thank you for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. So I think we've established that Travis Kelce is not even anywhere near the league that George Kittle is at blocking. We know this. And the whole idea of this whole series that I'm doing here is he worth the money that San Francisco just paid George Kittle? Well, the only way to make up for that is to be miles better at the receiving game. Now, Kelce is known as a receiving tight end, so let's watch what he brings to the table as a wide receiver. Let's watch this play. We got Kelce up here at the top, so keep an eye on him. Oh, nice catching. Yeah. Okay. So that was actually really pretty. He showed a lot of good stuff here. First off, he caught that through traffic. There was people all around him, in front of him, behind him, in front, underneath, everywhere. And he caught this football on a very good route. But what he does afterwards makes me even more impressive. Here we go. There's the contact. He cuts the corner. He's open. The question is, if you look back, there's a guy right in front. It looked like the pass could have been to him. He reaches out, misses. Kelce caught it anyhow. Now at this point, he sees defenders around him. He stops on a dime after catching this football and changes direction and goes the other way. So that instead of getting hit back here, he comes back around. Picks up a couple extra yards. About 3 of them. That's beautiful. That's good concentration, watching the football go into his hands. That's good recognition, field awareness of where defenders were, and then to be able to have the body control and athleticism to stop so quickly and change a 180 direction to go the other direction for a tight end, that's pretty darn impressive. I'll give him that. So now the question is, does George Kittle bring good receiving ability to the San Francisco 49ers for his position? Well, here's a play that shows what kind of hands and concentration that George Kittle has. Let's watch this play as Kittle in motion comes out to the side and does a very similar route. Very similar. It's just a out, and then he cuts inside, right? Just like what you saw Travis Kelce do earlier. Only this ball is going to be thrown low. Watch what Kittle does. Nice. Wide open area. Now he didn't have the traffic. He didn't have the traffic that Kelce had. But he had something a lot more difficult for some people to deal with than what others would have. Watch how low this football is. Look at it. What? He catches that ball right before it hits the ground. He goes to the ground, slides, gets down low, gets one hand underneath the football, the other hand on top of the football, make sure the football does not touch the ground for a completion. That's right. Kittle makes a wonderful catch to save the ball from hitting the ground. That is a beautiful play. Beautiful. And then picks it up off the ground. Wow. That's an amazing catch. That is flat out an amazing catch by George Kittle. This is not a very accurate throw. Had he thrown this up higher, Kittle may have been able to do something. I mean, because you've seen the guys here. He probably would have ran into him, because if you watch how he plays, he likes to catch the football and then truck people trying to tackle him. He might have broken a tackle and gotten some yards, or possibly just trucked him and gained a couple extra yards upfield the way Travis Kelce did when he stopped and turned around. So either way, though, the hands on this reception was absolutely outstanding. Now, one thing in the receiving game that I want to bring up is Travis Kelce is afraid of contact in the run game, in blocking. What makes you think that he's going to want contact in the passing game? The guy's very athletic. He's got great hands, good speed, able to change directions on a dime. But when there's nowhere else to go, a player like a tight end should be willing to lower his shoulders and just try to run through defenders in order to gain those extra few yards. Let's watch here with what Kelce does. Here he is. Watch him. Comes back around. Ball's hiked. Nice, nice. Caught it. Turns. Oh, there's someone Why'd you dance around, Kelce? You were surrounded, my guy. You knew what was going on. And yet you danced around rather than just try to lower your shoulder. What? He loses his defender. He sees guys coming around, and instead of just lowering his shoulder and taking number 20 on, he stops and allows defenders to catch him from behind and tackle him where he stops. Instead of just lowering his shoulder and just trying to truck for extra. Never know. You're a big dude. You might have been able to break a tackle from number 20. Right? Oh, that was beautiful, though. I mean, gorgeous right there. But right here, if he'd have just lowered his shoulder and tried to run over, he could have broke a tackle and just busted out. But instead, he stops and tries to dance around to get extra yards. And at this point, that ain't working against San Francisco. This ain't working. He should have never stopped right here. No. He's caught from behind because he stops. Kelce, I love you, my guy, but sometimes you just got to remember you have to take contact on. You're a big dude. You got number 20 outweighed by a lot. You're a bigger guy. I think you should have been able to just worry about your own size, strength, and athleticism. You could have took this to the house possibly if you just decided to try to run over number 20. Or at least gain a few extra yards. Because at the point where you stop, you could have gained another 5. Right here. Right here. Instead of stopping and allowing him to catch you, you could have gained it. He was preparing to hit you. You could have gained an extra 5 yards here. But instead you wanted to dance around. It's time that you realize you're bigger than some of those guys and you can do things. You don't have to rely on just your athleticism. All right? I understand you're afraid of contact, but sometimes you got to get over that fear. Now let's find out what happens when Kittle is put in a similar situation where, he might be able to dance around or something and pick up a couple extra yards, or he could just try to truck somebody, right? Let's watch this. Let's watch this play. There goes Kittle right now. He goes out here to the outside edge. There's the throw. He catches it. Now, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, right? Watch this. He comes out to the outside edge, wide open, good route, gets himself open, gets a little bit of a screen going. Now, at this point, he catches the football. He's at the 29. Now, he could try to dance and maybe cut back this way or something, but the defender's got him locked between the inside and he's got the out of bounds as an extra defender. So he could try to shake and bake and try to move this way or something, but no. What's he do? He sees him. He sets himself for power, lowers his shoulder, and just tries to run right over. Boom! Look at that. And just trucks him 5 yards. 5 yards. He gains an extra. Look at 5 defenders around Kittle. He ain't afraid of contact. 5 defenders it took to push his butt out of bounds. And because he didn't hesitate and think, oh my goodness, should I dance around on this? He made a decision, lowered his shoulder, and just ran through the defender and gained 5 extra yards out of it. That is beautiful. Kittle, I love you, Kelce. I think you are a great wide receiver, but I think you're just a big wide receiver, my guy. You're afraid of contact. You got great hands, great athleticism, but you're afraid of contact, whether it's blocking or whether it's running with the football after you catch it. Kittle does everything. Kittle deserves the $15 million a year contract. I don't see you getting, if you're paid $15 million and won, like a lot of people are expecting, I think you, my friend, are being overpaid. Because I believe that Kittle absolutely is worth more than what you are. Because Kittle does everything. You're just a glorified receiver. Granted, a good receiver. But that's all. I'm sorry, KC fans, but the film don't lie. Thank you guys for watching this film room breakdown of who deserves the money more, George Kittle or Travis Kelce. I think I've kind of made it pretty obvious who does, right? I think so. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and share. That way it'll help me get a little bit more exposure out there because I'm still new to this YouTube thing. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen, and I want you to have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.